Sorry to bother you. Do you have a minute? I'm Cliff. I'm here for some sightseeing on these beautiful islands. I'll be staying at the inn. I hope we can be friends. Great. I'll see you later. Alright, so welcome back to Sunshine Islands. It is now the 3rd day of spring, and I thought I would just open today by welcoming Cliff as our spring temporary villager that will be visiting us until the beginning of summer. So he is our last mystery villager. We weren't sure who we were going to be getting in the springtime, but it is Cliff, so we will, of course, be saying hello to him and hopefully making his acquaintance throughout the season. Getting to know him a little better, seeing where he goes on the island while he's visiting. So even though it is raining today, I still have a lot of things to talk about in today's video. I get off from watering again today, which is nice. I don't have to do any of the watering, and I'm crossing my fingers that it doesn't rain for too much longer because I don't want those crops to drown. It has been pretty rainy so far in this season, so I'm hoping that we don't get a lot of more rain and that we don't get any storms, of course, because that wouldn't be good at all. I'm over here on Harvest Sprite Island just to start things out today because I would like to pay for their services. It's a Thursday today, so if we hire the sprites for tomorrow, they will be able to enchant at Gannon's shop for us Friday and Saturday before he closes on Sunday. So I am going to ask them to decrease the amount of material this time. So we'll have them for 2 days starting tomorrow, and before we see what a difference their enchantment is going to make, we're just going to go to Gannon's today and sort of review what everything costs beforehand. Another thing that I did off screen was I planted some of our grass seeds, and I also took my hoe and I made some more space so we can plant more grass. I want to fill this whole area with grass for our animals so that they will have lots and lots and lots to eat. That way I can also chop all of this stuff down with a sickle and create my own fodder. That way I will never run out and I will never have to buy it. Going into our coop now, you can see that our silky hen is now an adult. We will not be able to get any eggs from it for a few days because they lay eggs every few days instead of every single day, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. We can definitely wait for that. That's exciting. We now have 5 adult chickens, and Mirabelle should be coming to give us a sunstone for it. But unfortunately, in order for her to do that, it has to be a sunny day. So I'm gonna have to wait for the next sunny day for her to come and have a look at our chickens and to get a sunstone from that. And then I'll kind of just decide from there whether I want to get more chickens or not. I might decide that the 5 chickens that I have are enough, but again, chickens are so easy to look after that I may decide to get 1 or 2 more, just because it's not too much effort or time to look after them. Before I go to Chen's, I'm gonna go back into my house because I do believe that I forgot to grab my yellow wonderful. And I'll want to have that with me because I need to put that into my hoe so that I can start tilling the rice paddy. Because I need to start thinking about when it is that I would like to grow some rice. I still have some time, but any day that I have some leftover stamina, that will probably be something that would be a good idea to get done. So I'm going over to Chen's now, and I guess I will equip that wonderful right away. Just before I forget, before I get too carried away here. And it's nice because I can fit the red and the yellow wonderful in here, which is great. So I have a little bit more range, and then I also have a bit more of a powerful tool now, so I'll be able to use it on the paddy. And then talking to Chen, really the only thing I wanted to buy was some more grass seeds. Now they are fairly expensive, so I'm gonna need about 4 of them. And for now, I'm just gonna stick them in my toolbox because my inventory is getting a little bit full. And then from here, I'm gonna go over to Gannon's and just have a look at his prices, because I've wanted to talk about Gannon's shop for a while now and I just haven't had the chance. There's been so many festivals and such going on, or I've recorded on a day that he has been closed. So I did calculations. I did all the calculations for what everything costs with lumber cost versus the cost of money. And I also looked at how much buying the lumber in his shop cost. And what I figured out was that buying lumber and storing it into your material shed and then asking Gannon to use the materials from your farm will always be exactly $5,000 cheaper than asking Gannon to do it himself. And I did this with a bunch of different upgrades. I looked at a bunch of different things. Even the greenhouse, I looked at the most expensive, most pain in the butt thing that there is in this game to get. And with the lumber and the cost of everything, doing it yourself is still cheaper than paying for the greenhouse outright, which I absolutely couldn't believe. And I double checked and triple checked my very, very basic math, and so I could have been saving money this whole time. I could have just been buying the lumber from Gannon, storing it in my supply shed, and then having him do the upgrades using that material rather than ask him to do it. With that being said, it's not like I'm hurting for cash. You can see I've got a lot of money on my person right now, so it hasn't been this huge struggle where there's been cases where the $5,000 would have saved my life or anything like that. But it's interesting to note, especially because a lot of the time, playing on my own especially, I scrimped and saved, and I spent so much time gathering my own lumber because I refused to pay what Gannon was offering. And then, silly me, forgetting that you can buy your lumber from him. Tomorrow, when the sprites come, I'm hoping that we're gonna get a sweet deal on the amount of lumber that we're gonna have to use for our building, which means that we can buy less lumber and hopefully save a little bit of cash that way. And I'm curious to see what discounts we're going to be able to get. So for example, the upgrade for the house is 700 pieces of lumber. So I'm curious to see how much less that is going to cost with the sprite's help. We haven't had a new sprite move in for quite some time, but I've been talking to them and giving them gifts. So I'm not sure if heart level has anything to do with it, but we'll see. So I will probably upgrade the house just because that's something that I talked about. We do still have until the end of spring to do this, but we only have 2 days worth of enchanting to use, so we sort of have to make some wise choices about what it is that we want to upgrade. I think the other thing that I would like to upgrade, if I can afford it, is the maker shed, because it's getting to a point now where I would like to put more makers in there, and we do need all of the remaining makers in the game in order to get some sunstones. So hopefully that 1,000 lumber cost can be knocked down by a little bit. And depending on how much I'm going to need to pay for lumber and how much I'm going to have to pay to actually have the buildings done, we'll see if we'll be able to do both. I think it's doable. So we're going to check that out in more detail tomorrow. And then if we go to our assets page, you can see that I already have 237 pieces of lumber, which is great. That means that that's 237 pieces of lumber that I do not have to buy. I also have 17 pieces of lumber in my inventory, and I have 30 branches. So my plan is off screen when this video is finished with. I am going to make an effort to lay out all of those branches on my field and chop them up and then store even more lumber in my shed. I still think it is worth chopping lumber when you see it, especially if you're someone like me who maybe has a bit of time left at the end of a day, especially a day like today when it's raining. There's no reason that I don't have any time to chop down a few measly branches, because I don't have to do any animal care really, just the bare minimum, but it's not like I have to drag them in and outside. They're already inside, and I don't have to do any crop care. And by the looks of it, according to Tarot, it's also going to be raining tomorrow. So if I don't get it done by today, or I do a little bit today, I can also do a little bit tomorrow, because we do have the sprites enchanting for 2 days. So I'm gonna go and put out my grass before I forget. A few days of rain will help them grow a little bit quicker, I hope. Although, once again, I hope I don't get too much rain. I don't want it to rain for 3 or 4 days, because at that point a lot of my crops might drown. I'm especially worried about the strawberries. It's fantastic that I'm not having to put in the extra work with watering and everything, but it comes at a cost if it happens too often. So there we are, 4 bags, and we're able to get ourselves a nice full field of wild grass. And once this stuff starts to actually mature, I'll let the animals out, assuming that I can let them out if it doesn't continue to rain. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to have time for it in this video or not, but I do. So now I'm gonna take the chance to do a little bit of a rant because, oh my god, my orange trees died. Look at this! They're two little sad looking stumps. And I am completely baffled. I have absolutely no idea how these trees died, because these trees were mature, and once trees reach the mature stage, they all have the same water and sun requirements. They will die if they receive more than 119 water or 119 sun points. These trees matured at the end of fall, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I had written in my little Word document where I was keeping track of all of my trees. So even if it rained every single day in the wintertime, or it snowed every single day, or it was sunny every single day in the wintertime, we would only be looking at about 90-ish points of each. And then we're only a few days into the spring season. I have never left these uncovered for any long period of time. They have had fences on them all spring. And I woke up yesterday, I think, and they were dead. I reloaded on the first day of spring and they were still alive. So I watered them. It was a sunny day. I thought, okay, maybe they're missing some water or something, but nope, they were dead. They still died. So I guess it's inevitable. There's nothing that I can think of that I can do to bring these trees back to life. I can't rewind time and try and fix these damn trees because there's not much you can do for tree care in the wintertime. And I'm just floored. I have absolutely no idea. If we look at apple trees as an example, the apple trees actually came in before the orange trees did. They came in at the end of summer. And they're not dead. I guess the good news is you can see here that my two grape trees have matured, which is nice. That means we might get some more fruit in the fall season, and as of right now, if no more of our trees die, we still have these peach trees. We've got 4 banana trees to give us fruit in the summertime. But I'm still really mad about that. I was so careful. I charted every single day that I watered and how many sun points there were for the entire duration of when all of those trees were growing. And I thought I was set. They were all healthy come spring, and then I walk into the orchard one day and those orange trees were just all of a sudden dead. So yeah, I'm a little ticked off, but hopefully that doesn't happen again, and I'm probably going to have to replant some trees. I also have a bag of grape seeds that I've been hanging on to that I just have been too lazy to plant, but I guess now if I'm gonna have to chart on more than one tree, I might as well plant those grape seeds now as well and just start looking at planting 3 new trees. I'll probably replant either oranges or maybe I'll pick another summer fruit. It is nice to have variety. It is nice to be able to get oranges if the trees will cooperate with me and stay alive. So I am once again just dealing with the bad luck that I continuously seem to have in this game, but there's absolutely nothing I could do, so I have to just let it go and carry on from here. I am hoping, my fingers are crossed, that I don't have any more horrible, terrible, bad luck come the next few days or few weeks. Hopefully it'll just be good from here. This is a little bump in the road and we could get over it, and we'll be able to have a lot of really, really good positive things happen later on in this game. So that's where I'm at as of today. I will be back tomorrow to do another recording, so I will see you guys next time. Thank you all so very much for watching. I always appreciate it, and thank you for listening to me rant at the end of this video.